All right. Before I start with tonight, does anybody have any questions? Any questions about the last couple of classes? I know you did technical fouls, personal fouls, uh, those things. Everybody's pretty solid. Okay. I apologize for last week. It was unavoidable. I'm glad you guys are here today. My goal today is to go over kind of our two-person mechanics, which is, basically how we move on the field, how we operate as a team. And this is in preparation for Saturday. I know in the email I told everybody to be there. I think around 8:20, 8:25. We'll go over a few things. The format of the play day at Appo is there are two fields. He has quite a few teams there, and they'll rotate the teams through the fields, and they play shortened running time games, and we'll have the opportunity to officiate those games. We will have at least two experienced officials on each field, and then depending on how many applicants come, we'll split you up. The goal will be kind of a see, watch, and then do. So in the beginning, you'll kind of watch the experienced officials, and then slowly they'll work you in, and hopefully by like the second half of the play day, you'll be pretty much officiating the games by yourself. Okay. I would see certainly we're coming in full uniform. I'll have all your new flags, uh, scorecards, and your tape measure that I promised you. I'll have that there ready for you. I'm hoping to be there. Right now, I don't have a game. So if that changes, it could. Between now and Saturday, I won't be there, but if I'm hoping to be there. I would suggest you bring some snacks, maybe a sandwich, definitely some water. It will be a kind of long day, kind of uh, trial by fire hose, however that saying goes, as we move on. So, are there any questions about Saturday? All right, good. Um, also, I think everybody on the call right now, I've sent an invitation to Arbiter. Make sure you've opened that invitation. You can log into Arbiter and mark yourself ready to be assigned, and you should start seeing some assignments show up. And then I will also tomorrow be sending instructions for registering for Dragonfly. I think David and Pat have already registered. I'm not sure about Dan, but we need to get that done before we start with your assignments for spring. So with that, I'm assuming you can see the PowerPoint where it says men's two-person mechanics officials education. If you're not seeing that, let me know. Real quickly, just to explain what mechanics are, here's some definitions. The big things are, the way something is done or operated, or the practicalities or details of something. And in lacrosse officiating, it's how we move with purpose and signal for clarity. It's how we make sure that we're in the right spots to see what's going on, to keep everybody safe and keep the game fair and fun. So basically, there's four parts: position. We want to be in the right place so we can see and make calls. We want to be consistent. So if we're in the right places, we're moving, we're working as a team, we make the same calls during the game. We are the impartial arbiters on the field. So our knowledge of the rules in the game help keep things fair. And then the big thing is to make sure we keep everybody safe. And that is all done with good teamwork. A lot of people like to refer to the officials as the third team on the field. And we do have to work together as a team, and I'm sure many of you have seen athletic contests, whether it's lacrosse or football or anything where it's obvious that the referees aren't on the same page, and it definitely can hinder the outcome. So our mechanics help us to make sure that we're working well as a team. So basically, mechanics help us to communicate, and really what coaches, players want to know. They want to clearly know what's the call, who's getting the ball, and then where are we starting. And generally, if you can answer those questions, you don't have too many problems. And that's where the mechanics help us. Part of what you do need to know is you need to know your physical ability. Um, we have to be in the right position, but if you know yourself, you can compensate for that to make sure that you're in a good spot. Anticipation is very important. This is where experience, as a player, coach, understanding the game really helps to put you in the best position. Um, and then we always want to make sure we are in the right spot to make the best decision. We position ourselves to answer these questions. Where's the ball? Am I the on-ball or off-ball official? We'll talk about that in a minute. Thinking about where the ball could go next. That's anticipation. That's understanding the game. Having a sense of where your partners or your teammates are. And then can you see all the players? You're in the right spot to see all the players that you specifically need to see. We're certainly not able to see all 20 players at all times. We do have some pregame mechanics before the game. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, and I think Chris might have earlier. We do talk to the coaches at the beginning of the game. We make sure we talk to our table staff, people running the clocks, the penalties. We talk to the captains, the face-off players. And then before every game, during especially the spring season, we have that pregame lineup where all the starters come out on the field. And it's kind of a tradition where, the goalies cross and shake hands, and then all the players shake hands. The idea is you would be lined up across from your opponent. And then also making sure we're making good use of timeouts and the time between quarters. I'm going to skip through this where preparation with the table staff. You'll learn this as you go along. It's just very important to understand that you talk with the people who run the penalty clocks, keep score, and they understand what their jobs are, and you also understand what you're dealing with. Some of the people at the table are very good. They do a great job, and you don't have to worry about anything. Others, not so much. Before every game, we line the players up. The goalie's left shoulder is closest to the goal they're going to defend, and then the defense, midfield, and attack are lined up after the goalie. Generally, face-off midi would be on the midline, and then you want to get them about 5 yards apart. And the umpire or the field judge, if you have three officials, kind of set that 5 yards. That 5 yards a little bit important because you're showing the players what 5 yards would be on the field, and that's important later. At that pregame, we talk with the players real quick. This gives us a chance to set the tone. We don't want this to be very long. Usually it's the referee who talks, so he should know what he says. And basically it goes somewhere along the line of telling players to respect the game. Talking about sportsmanship, talking to them about talking with each other. They should be talking to their teammates, not their opponents. And then in the end, the goalies cross, and then the players all will shake hands. All right. I thought I put this stuff at the end. So, I'm gonna skip this. There we go. Okay, so this is how we line up for a face-off. So we're doing two-person mechanics. So there's two-person, two-man, three-man mechanics. In the beginning, you learn two-man. We like to have three guys on the field if we can, but usually we start with two. When we start the game, you have a face-off official and a wing official. Okay. We do what's called running left, which means you are running. The goal that you're responsible for is always to your left as you're facing the center of the field. So as you can see here, this face-off official will be running this way. He's responsible for this goal, this end line, and this official's running this way, responsible for this goal, this end line. Okay. When we do the face-offs, and I think, did Chris cover this? I don't want to be too repetitive. Can somebody tell me if Chris covered this? Open your mic.
Yes, he did.
Okay. So I'm not really going to spend a ton of time on this, since we already covered it. We'll get some practice in this, and I kind of like to. Well, this is part of what I want to do at the beginning of what we talk about tomorrow. So I'm going to fly through all this. This is just a lot of stuff. All right, this is what I really want to get to. And this is kind of settled play. This is our basic responsibilities. So we have two officials. We have a lead. Okay, and that lead is responsible for the goal and the crease. Okay, and that lead would be, since we're running left, would be up here. And we'll see him show up in a minute on our diagram. There he is. Okay, the lead official always has the end line and they're running out the shots. So when there's a shot on the end line, they're the ones who are making the call on determining who gets possession after the shot or if a ball goes out of bounds. They also have responsibility for this whole sideline that is behind them. Okay. And then when there's a turnover, that person will have the 20-second count as the new trail. And they also, as the new trail, when we after a turnover, they have the delayed offsides count. The other person is the trail. Okay. They are responsible to watch the shooter. They're the safety valve. Well, the lead is primarily watching play, the goal, the end line. The trail is making sure that we don't have late hits on the shooter. You would kind of call it, that's to protect or keep the shooter safe. So you're always watching the shooter. They have this whole sideline down here, and then they have the opposite goal. Okay, and they also will be responsible for over and back. So Chris should have discussed over and back. The trail is the one who would come up and make the determination of over and back. All right, and then if we were in the other end of the field, all right, this trail would become a lead, and this lead would become the trail. They would just be on the other ends of the field. Okay. All right. So we have what's called on and off ball responsibilities. So when we say on ball, we mean the person who's responsible for what's going on with the ball carrier or the ball on the ground. And generally between the lead and the trail, we're kind of splitting the field in half. Okay, so right here, as you can see, the ball's here. So the lead is on. They're on the ball, they're on the defender, they're watching all that. The trail over here is off. He's not really worried about the ball. He's going to worry about everything going on here. Stuff going on off ball, moving picks, interference, those types of things. Okay. The ball comes up here. It's now on the other side of this line. closer to this alley. Now you can see the trail now has on-ball responsibilities, and the lead is focusing here. All right. And you can always kind of tell where an official is looking because the direction of the hat will really give you away. All right. Please feel free to ask questions. Okay. As you can see here, we kind of have a split. Okay. If the ball is coming this way, the lead will kind of take over as the on official, and the trail will be the off official. We're just kind of switching back and forth, depending on who's closer and where it makes more sense. All right. The worst thing that we don't really, the thing we want to make sure is we don't have two guys focused totally on the ball and then nobody watching the other players. Yeah, there's two officials out there to officiate 20 players. All right. Line responsibilities. All right. So the lead, okay, his back is to this sideline. So he's responsible for that sideline. The trail is responsible for this sideline and, of course, the midfield line. Okay. The lead is also responsible for this end line. All right. Let's take a quick look. This is a quick video that we're going to watch that will kind of go over. It's about 10 minutes long, and it will discuss on and off ball responsibilities. The only problem with the video is the officials are on the wrong side. It's an older mechanic.
In this video, we're taking a look at the lead and trail official and their responsibilities. So you'll notice the trail official in the lower left-hand side of your screen and the lead official in about the middle of your screen during settled play. So let's talk about the trail official as the ball moves around the field. Right now, he's just a little lower than the wing line, and he's in what's known as the 5x5 square, just about 5 yards above the box, 5 yards in to the field, or 5 yards outside the field, using the wing line as a reference point. And the trail official is right now, he's the on official. So he's watching this player. He watches the shooter all the way through, and the eyes stay on the shooter. Turning our attention to the lead official, he's off right now. But as the play comes to his side of the field, now he's the on official. Now he's dropping below goal line extended to watch the play. And now he's the off official as the ball is in the trail side of the field. So again, we're going to watch this shot and notice the different responsibility. The lead has his eyes on this shooter, but as soon as it shoots, he's got the whistle out of bounds and the signal along the end line. So now, having watched this clip, let's flip over and take a look at how we can diagram out lead and trail and on and off officiating. Here we have the field set to show on and off responsibilities between the lead official and the trail official in a two-person crew. So we've stripped out all of the other players save one red defenseman and one blue attackman. Because again, we're just looking to show really the focus of the two officials here. So here we cut a diagonal line through the goal area or the attack box. And here we say that the lead official is pretty much responsible for everything as the on official on this side of the line. And the trail official is responsible for the entire rest of the field as the on official. So again, the on official means you are the primary official. So if we move these players up here, trail official will probably bump back just a touch, and the lead official will move in a bit. So the trail official is watching the on-ball action. So that area with the ball and about the 5 or 6 yards around the ball as well. So you have not just zeroed in on the ball, you want to be on the players. And so those defensive penalties of holding, pushing, slashing, cross-checking, pretty much any defensive foul, and then any offensive foul as well, moving picks with another player involved, warding off, all the things that you could think of for an offensive violation, the on official would be calling primarily. But what happens when the ball moves around the field, and how do you determine when you are the on and when you are the off? Well, let's go ahead and move these players down. Now, again, there's other players on the field. This is to simplify and just show as the ball moves. So we're going to come on down, and as these players move down, the trail official is going to bump down just a touch. And lead official is prepping that they're going to come down. And again, the most common thing that's going to happen here is we're going to push to the opposite side of the field, especially if we're going quickly. If they're going slowly, that offensive player might want to set up a play from right down here at X. So then he could go either direction. But if he's really pushing one side, he'll probably cut the one end. And then there's a chance, certainly, that he's going to push the other direction. So the lead official is just aware of this and to start coming down towards the end line. So here the lead official is the on official. The ball is on this side of the diagonal line. He's got the on ball defensive fouls, the on ball offensive fouls. He's also watching this line just in case, let's say this offensive player just grazes the line. He's going to be right on top of it just in case. Now, if these players are up a little higher, he can certainly be up a little bit more. But whenever you have a contested play along this end line, get to that line. It's going to help sell the call. So if this lead official is that deep, trail official can come in a little bit more. And he's got the big picture. He's looking all the way. Maybe there's a little bit of extension on this side of the field, again, depending on where the players are, right? Because if the lead's attention is focused right here, yeah, there might be some off-ball stuff happening on this side, and the trail official does want to be open to it. So don't let this line just completely take you out of, I can't call anything over here. If something bad happens over here as the trail official, you get a safety violation. Two players are wailing on each other for no good reason. Lead official can't call that because he's looking right over here. But let's continue this play around. So the lead official, actually, we're going to keep him here. So these players are going to start pushing out this direction, and then the defender is always going to be working to stay between his man and the goal. And as that play starts pushing up, the lead official is working out a little bit. And that trail official probably rises up, and now he's up again. So again, that trail official staying in this main 5x5 box between just inside the box and the very end of the wing line, this area here. So again, these players move up, and you can do one of two things here as the lead official. You can either really stretch yourself out here, even if the players come to right about here, right, to see this entire field. Or if you get really stuck, let's say those players really push in on you and you didn't have a chance to back out, or you don't have the opportunity to quickly get all the way out, well, your emergency bailout plan is just to back out at an angle towards the end line or towards the cone. So you're getting here, you see these players coming at you really quick, like this player decided to really push this direction and it took you by surprise. Well, instead of backpedaling, just drop 2 steps, 3 steps, let the player run by you. And now we can follow that play up nice and easily. So there's advantages. There's always that kind of straight line path that we're working along goal line, that yo-yo in and out, in and out. We always want to be active. Lead official is very active. But if you get stuck, a very good way to save yourself from having to spin all the way around or lighthouse is just to drop on down. Because now if we have a loose ball or if the ball drops and we're coming on the way down here, we can always work our way outside the play. So dropping on that angle gives you the opportunity to do that with less steps. So now let's look at a practical example of movement and also responsibilities in this 2-person crew. So we've established trail official has this half. He's the off official, looking around for any potential safety or off-ball tactical violations. The lead official, by virtue of this play, he's been pulled out just a little bit. And so now we're going to look at what happens if the defense gets a little bit off and we have an opportunity for pretty much a bang, bang, quick shot. So here, we're going to go ahead and have a very quick pass up to this midfielder, right? So in this situation, he sees an open man, bangs it up, top of the box. Now, recognizing this, the lead official, and it helps to, as you become more and more of a student of the game, you realize you see an open player or a player sneaking now over to this side of the field. Why did the players suddenly pump the ball all the way over here so quickly? We're looking for this player on the backside. So knowing that and knowing that they're going to shoot here, this is the objective. Now the lead official recognizes that and starts running in. All right, we don't have anybody on this side of the field to worry about, so the lead official is going to run on in. Trail official, all right, he's going to start dropping just a little bit in case this ball squirts out of bounds, or in case, because this is going to be a dangerous pass, just in case maybe there's a tip or the defense picks it up. This trail official is dropping just to prepare to go upfield. So, attackman catches the ball. Now, we've talked the on and off responsibilities. Settled situation, lead official. He has that end line, but primarily has this goal and the crease line. So he's working in this whole way through. By the time that attackman catches the ball, he's on the crease, either a step above, a step below. So he's not blocked by the pipe directly on goal line extended. So whichever you like to be, step above or a step below, get to where you like to go. And then this attackman is going to go ahead and shoot the ball. All right. Say the goalie just makes a save here. We'll keep the ball right at that point. Trail official has the shooter. Trail official has the shooter. Trail official has the shooter. This cannot be overemphasized. In a two-person crew, the trail official always, always, always has the shooter. So let's say ball hits a pipe or it comes right down towards the line. The lead official is the only one, the only person in this entire field who can make a good goal, no-go call, or a crease violation call, or a push into the crease call. He's the only one who is in position to do that. But he's in position because he recognized what was going to happen. Again, see where that ball is going. See if that tempo of that team has changed up a bit and work on in, because we can always back out as this lead official. We want to come in nice and tight when we get the opportunity so we can be on goal for these close shots. So again, to recap, lead official has the end line on contested plays, has the goal and the crease line for all shots. And the trail official has the shooter, always, always, always has the shooter. Under no circumstances, a shooter never left uncovered. lacrosse.arbitersports.com and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/menslaxofficials.
Okay, were there any questions about that? All right, just kind of remember as we move through that, when we're settled, the unofficial is generally responsible for calling any fouls that are committed against the player in possession. He will primarily call the offensive fouls, such as warding, withholding the ball from play. And he usually has the narrow focus on the player with possession and the surrounding 5 yards. Where the off official, without the ball coverage, is focusing his attention on the area in front of the crease and the cutters. He's got a wider view, and his responsibility is looking for more fouls like late hits, illegal offensive screens, interference, things that happen away from the ball. Okay. If there's any doubt who's the on or off official, you can communicate both kind of by pointing or telling, tapping your chest, hey, I've got the ball, you take everything else. But generally, as you go through your mechanics with our officials, it becomes quite clear and quite easy to know who has which responsibility. Okay. So when we're in settled, after we have a goal, all right, what does everybody do to get to the face-off? All right, so the lead is going to come in. They're going to give the goal signal. All right. The trail is going to keep his eye on the center of everything, make sure there's no shenanigans going on, late hits, any kind of taunting, verbal misconduct, anything like that. The lead runs in and gets the ball. The trail is going to come to the center of the field. There'll be a quick ball exchange. Sometimes you might run up and do a ball handoff if you need to talk. Then the lead is going to move to their position for the next faceoff. Okay. And the person who is the trail is going to head up to conduct the faceoff. Pretty simple. We try to do that very quickly, because we want to get moving to the next faceoff. Anytime the clock is not running is usually bad. There's chances for stupid things to happen, and we want to keep the clock running and the game moving. Okay, over and back. Okay, remember once a team has cleared the ball successfully and they've touched it in the box within their 10 seconds, over and back is now in play. So if the ball was to come back and cross the line, last touched by the offense, all right, that's an over and back foul. And the trail is going to whistle the ball dead as soon as it goes over the line. Okay. And then they're going to take off and head to their goal. And then the former lead, who is now the new trail, is going to run up and conduct the restart. There's no reason to hurry this. We don't need a rushed restart. We want to have a nice settled restart. So blows his whistle, runs through. When the lead gets the new lead or new trail gets up here, they're going to blow the whistle and we're going to restart play. Okay. Any questions on that? All right. Let's look at restarts. Okay. Who restarts what at different points in the field? Okay. And what matters is what line was crossed, where are we going, what direction is everybody going? So anytime we have a ball in this end line or this sideline, it's going to be the lead. Anything on this end line or this sideline, the trail is the person responsible for restarting. Okay. When we have a deep restart, okay, so let's say the ball had gone out of bounds here. This person had blown the ball dead. Okay. They had been the old trail. They had been the old lead. This person's going to go upfield and get at least 2 lines between themselves and the ball. Okay. Remember, their responsibility is to get to this goal as quick as possible. All right. So they're going to come upfield. The new trail is going to stay here behind the ball. All right. They will actually blow the whistle to restart the ball. Okay. All this person will do is they'll have their hand up, and as soon as the ball comes back in bounds at the right place, they're going to point in the right direction and let this person know to blow the whistle. Whenever we have a restart at the substitution box, we want to always bring the ball 5 yards away from the box area. So this is the substitution box. We never want to restart kind of in this arc here. Okay. Because remember, we have to have everybody 5 yards away from the restart. If we start in here too close and somebody's trying to sub, they potentially come into that 5 yard bubble. All right. So we want to make sure that we get the ball 5 yards away. In this case, this trail will come up, place the person where they're supposed to be, and they'll handle the restart. Okay. If it's on the offensive side, okay, the new lead's going to be all the way down. The trail's going to be here. We've got them 5 yards away. Okay. After a shot, so we have the ball going back to the defense here. So now this person who had been the lead is now the new trail, and then you have the lead. Okay, they're going to take off, head to there. Everybody's going to come up. and work their way into our settled position. Does that make sense? Any questions? Okay. All right. Here's where you really have to move and it gets really tricky. Okay. When we have a fast break. All right. So in this case, okay, something happened here. The ball's here. It's going to go in this direction. All right. Everybody has to move very fast. As the new lead, you always want to stay ahead of the ball and make sure you get to the goal before the ball. So when you anticipate you're going to have a fast break, you really have to sprint and get moving. Generally, what I say too is when you are the trail and the ball hits the ground and becomes loose, always start kind of backing out so that you're ready to run in case it's scooped up and you're going to have a fast break. All right. Does that make sense? All right. And the last part of what we're going to talk about tonight are penalty relays. So when we have a penalty, our job is to tell the story of what happened. This is really important. Everybody wants to know what happened. So you have to inform your partner and the players what the foul was, how long it's going to be, who it was on, so on and so forth. And then the person who is closest to the table, all right, is going to get to a spot facing the table somewhere from midfield towards the box. You have time here, so make sure you know what you're going to say. And then you are going to relay the penalty. Okay, and we use a thing called C note. Chris should have explained to you what C note was. Okay, so whenever we relay a penalty, we point the direction of the color of that team. So if it was blue, that's the C, the color. N is the number. So I had blue 24. O is the offense, what the penalty was. He slashed, and that's going to be a 1-minute penalty. Okay. The E and C note is the explanation. You don't always have to give an explanation. A lot of times when you give the penalty relay and you're informing, sometimes as little information as possible is better. Usually the foul was pretty obvious, but occasionally, if you hear rumblings that there was a question, oh, it was a slash, where was it? Where was it? Part of your explanation would be, I had blue 24 with a slash. It's a 1-minute penalty. It was to the back, or he hit him in the head. Whatever that explanation would be. We want to try and get as much information to people as possible without taking too much time and preserving the game of the flow and creating too many arguments. So state the obvious, keep it simple, keep it easy. Okay, so here's a penalty relay. All right, so you're going to have a flag here. All right. At this point now, the lead, okay, so he's all the way across the field. The trail is going to actually be the one to tell the box what happened or tell the table. So the lead is going to give their signal. So I'm going to say I had blue 24 / 1 minute. Then the trail is going to confirm, okay, you said 24, right? It's a slash. Yes. Then the trail and the player who committed the penalty, so this is the player who committed the penalty, he's gonna come to the box, the trail's gonna come to the midfield, and they're gonna signal the penalty to the box, make sure that everybody at the table understands. When you have a visible scoreboard, I like to relay what the release time of the penalty is gonna be. And I'll go over that a little bit on Saturday, how we do that. But let's say you had a slash, it's a 1-minute penalty, and there was 9 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock. When the guy goes in, he gets released at 8 minutes and 42 seconds. If you have a 30-second penalty, let's say it was at 9 minutes and 42 seconds, you're just going to subtract 30 seconds from 42. Okay. And that's how you do it. You make sure the player comes in the box, they take a knee. I like to get them in the back of the box a little bit, close to their bench. And that just makes everything easier for us. At that same time, okay, this lead should be getting the player and the ball and not off the field, but get them here ready for the restart so that as soon as we, as soon as the penalties relay and everybody knows, we can start play quickly. All right. And then here's a couple of penalty reports to look at.
Blue 1-8. Illegal body chip to a defenseless player. 2 minutes, non-releasable.
Okay. So, and what he's doing at the end there. All right. So he's saying what the penalty is, very simple. At the end, when he cocks his arm, he's setting his timer, which tells everybody you have 20 seconds to be ready to play. If they're ready before that, we go ahead and restart. We don't wait the whole 20 seconds. And the other thing you'll notice when he called out the player number, okay, he put a 3 sideways, and that represents 8. Okay. We don't really have to do that to the table. That's helpful when we're relaying to our partner. All right, so here's the report of a push.
White 7-2, pushing 30 seconds. Play on. Push. White ball.
Okay. And the other thing is this, if you had a play on and a loose ball foul, that's how you're going to report it. Okay. So we'll go over these a little bit more on Saturday. All right. Last couple things, correcting mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Okay. The quote here by Dean Smith is great. What to do with a mistake, recognize it, admit it, learn from it, and most importantly, we're going to forget it. Okay. If you make an obvious mistake and you try and sell that you didn't make a mistake, everybody knows, and that's very difficult. So when you do make a mistake, admit the mistake. Regularly people point in the wrong direction when they're indicating what direction a ball is going to go in. They might make a mistake on the application of a foul, a number, anything like that. Okay. If you truly made a mistake, admit the mistake and then fix it. If you pointed in the wrong direction and everybody went and the wrong players are on the field, don't compound the mistake by restarting quickly. Say, I made a mistake. I had a push on white. The ball should be going that way. All right. And then you give everybody a chance to come in and you have everything right. Okay. Remember, your integrity is kind of everything. And when you make a major mistake, people know it. So don't try and sell that you made a mistake. And then I think, let me see. This is all the face-off stuff I skipped. I'm just trying to see what's at the end here. All right, so the end of the game. All right, this is the final part of our mechanics. Have an end of game exit strategy. Okay. My crews, as soon as the clock hits 0 and we blow that final whistle, we're looking to get off the field. One thing that I push with everybody is not to take anything up to the field or the table, that you're going to have to go and get. And the only exception to that sometimes is if we wear coats. We might have to get the coats, to which point we make sure the person who's closest to the table at the end of the game grabs the coats and leaves. But you shouldn't take your keys up there, your expensive water bottle, a bag of any, with anything in it. We show up to the field with everything, that we're wearing in our pockets and all that. We don't have to worry about signing the scorebook. I don't worry about that. The job ends when we leave the immediately playing facility. So the quicker we get off the field, the less likely we are to get wrapped up in post-game nonsense. trying to circle back and shake coaches' hands and wish them good luck and all that, usually does not end up helping. Okay. If it's your buddy, your friend, you can always contact them after the game and congratulate them. We do always leave the field together. We never leave a partner out there on the field. For any reason, we get to our cars and we make sure, especially if things ended kind of hot, that we all are able to get in our cars and get out safely. Um, Acknowledging the coaches is okay, which basically means, you give them a wave, good luck, congratulations. Often what I'll do, assuming the game is going well and I'm, not gonna run into a trap, is when I'm on the side with the coaches at the end of the game, I'll just try to walk by them with a few seconds and just shake their hand and thank them for a great game and wish them luck for the rest of the season. You know, uh, of course, if the game is really close or tight, I don't go out of my way to do that, but it's always nice. You don't have to. And that is the end of the presentation. Does anybody have any questions? So either you're very lost and I've confused you, or I've done a great job. Evan, I know you came in a little bit late. The only thing well, you missed some stuff. I'll be sending this link out so you can kind of watch the video at the beginning of the meeting. And then just confirm that you did see the email about Saturday and what time to meet and all that.
Okay, thank you. And I did see the email, and we're all good to go. I'm just waiting for my stripes from All Sports.
All right. If it doesn't come, I have a shirt you can use. I'll bring it.
Okay, thank you. I think my dad said that he did get in touch with them, and they said they should be here by Friday.
Okay, good.
But with how they've been, I don't know if I can trust that. So
Yeah, I don't understand. They've been, I mean, everybody else, I think it's been pretty good. So I don't understand what the problem was there. But if you don't have stripes or you need something, let me know. I'll make sure you have it. The other thing I told the other guys is we will be there for a little while. So, make sure you bring some water. For this one, you can bring some snacks or a sandwich or something like that. Um, and then we'll split up when we get there. Certainly if your dad wants to come along, if he's not doing anything, I don't know if he's on a scrimmage. He's more,
okay, I think he's at a play day
yeah, I
somewhere.
think
I don't
I
know
think
where.
everybody down there in the south is kind of on a play day because there's 3 or 4 of them down there that day. It's a busy day.
Yeah.
But all right, if
All right,
nobody
thank
else
you.
has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. I would
Hey,
recommend. Dave, go ahead.
just real, the trail official, they in charge of the 22nd clock?
So yeah, so the trail in transition, the trail has the 20-second. So as soon as there's possession, they flip their 20-second timer. As soon as the ball crosses midfield or is in possession or it's possessed on the offensive side, the lead then has the 10-second count.
Okay, thanks. Just wanted to make sure. I know they told me in that last clinic we did in Wilmington. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
For the most part, that's how we're going to do it. The only difference will be sometimes if there's a restart in the offensive side and it's right next to the trail, a lot of times they'll take the count. It just makes more sense. For them to take the count, they know when everything starts, and generally they're going to go in the box right then. But for the most part, you're right. The trail starts with that 20-second count, and then the lead takes over with the 10-second count. And then we just want to make sure as soon as the ball goes in, everybody's chopping and pointing at the box so that we all know that the ball is in.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? All right, very good. I will see you all on Saturday. Look for this stuff about Dragonfly. I want to make sure we get everybody moving along so that we can get